Sealings Diakin says that they've been working on building machine learning models that will help them better understand the documents that they will need in order to complete certain parts of the process of the servicing of a reverse mortgage loan. And he adds, if we did not have this tool, then we would need to hire a small army of people to do it manually. Now, fortunately, machine learning models were able to crunch the data they needed in almost no time. So that is just one example of the leverage and the power of AI. It brings efficiencies and it saves much time. Diakin says that AI brings many advantages. One is that it helps their developers to better write code for such things as assisting a customer or to be more attentive and to bring better information to the borrowers in a more timely and efficient manner versus other forms of information delivery. In a recent post, Normla summarized HUD's recent revamp of the servicing of home equity conversion mortgages, or HECMs. The Federal Housing Administration implemented many servicing policy changes, which are designed to improve the HECM program's financial stability and overall performance. Now, the details of these servicing changes were provided in Mortgagee Letter 2023-23. And those final policies in the Mortgagee Letter take into consideration input provided by Normla and other industry stakeholders. Now, the changes announced in that Mortgagee Letter include, first, the allowing mortgage servicers to contact a borrower by phone for the verification of occupancy. That meets the program's required annual occupancy certification. Also, allowing outstanding homeowners association dues to be included in the calculation of a repayment plan for borrowers who may find themselves behind on their HECM financial obligations. Also, expanding the ability of mortgage servicers to work with borrowers who are behind on their property tax or hazard insurance payments by an amount of up to $5,000 without having to call the mortgage due and payable. And allowing mortgage servicers to assign a HECM to HUD after the servicer has funded a cure for the borrower's delinquent financial obligations, so long as the borrower has made all property charge payments for 1 year and all other assignment eligibility criteria have been met, and the streamlining requirements for executing alternatives to foreclosure and updating existing incentive payments for successful completion of loss mitigation options. And lastly, providing a new incentive payment to mortgage servicers for completing those alternatives. Now, here's what they're saying. FHA says that the policies included in the Mortgagee Letter will simplify servicing requirements, incentivize actions which will improve the ultimate outcome for the HECM program, its participants, while protecting the Mutual Mortgage Insurance Fund. A financial analyst once dubbed the Oracle of Wall Street by Bloomberg says that high living costs will soon force baby boomers to downsize into smaller homes, and that could potentially increase housing inventory. At least that's according to a recent report in a story in Reverse Mortgage Daily. Meredith Whitney, who has been credited as an analyst who predicted the 2007 and 8 housing crisis, told the Daily Mail that baby boomers will soon need to bow to the realities of high inflation and living costs that come with larger homes. People who have not sold their house in the past decade will ultimately either need to move or want to reduce their overhead expenses and want a smaller home. Now, that's typically 51% of people over 50, which is roughly 30 million units. Now, this change would not happen overnight, she explains. It will happen gradually, and it could assist those younger generations who have had issues in breaking into the home ownership market due to affordability issues. And baby boomers themselves will be seeking out smaller homes in response. Now, where we have a demand and supply challenge today is where there is more demand and less supply. That will invert and have to have more supply and hopefully more demand. But prices do remain elevated today, and that continues to keep the younger buyers out of the market. Now, to shift that dynamic, she says prices will need to change. I agree wholeheartedly. Some regions may be more prone to those shifts than others. Whitney said that while states like Pennsylvania, Connecticut, New Jersey, and Illinois could see falling home prices due to observable migration patterns, states such as Texas may not see their home prices fluctuate due to a recent influx of residents from other parts of the country. namely California. In a recent appearance on CNBC, Whitney added that the homes baby boomers may be selling could still remain out of the reach of the younger potential buyer because of today's home prices, and that could lead to some boomers to sell their homes at a lower price, which could harm certain real estate investments. But more baby boomers, who typically have less outstanding mortgage debt, are also choosing to extract some of their home's equity today after prices ran up so much in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. So where the reverse mortgage industry could fit into this overall equation is that downsizing could be financed, of course, with a home equity conversion mortgage for purchase, or HECM for purchase, or H for P. Now, that product remains widely underutilized in comparison with the traditional HECM. However, though, some lenders have signaled a greater interest in expanding their H for P capabilities in recent months. In the final analysis, we'll see if the Oracle of Wall Street is indeed correct. Will this free up substantial housing inventory, that is, boomers needing to downsize due to the high cost of living and inflation? Let us know in the comments section below. And that's a wrap for us here at HECMWorld Weekly, the nation's only weekly podcast for reverse mortgage professionals like yourself. Of course, you're watching the video version. We do have an audio version, by the way, which you can find on Apple Music, Spotify, Podbean, and of course here at HECMWorld.com. Thank you for joining us, and be sure to return next week for more reverse mortgage news on the go.